Hey everyone, today's video is going to be on tips on how to blow dry your hair better so that you look like you have that salon blowout. And a friend of mine actually writes a fashion blog, and she had asked me if I would write some articles on hair and makeup. So I was just playing around. I started my own blog just to jot down some thoughts and came up with 6 tips on how to blow dry your hair. So I'll put a link to the blog below, and then when hers comes out too, I'll let you see hers because hers is great. It's all about fashion. So the first tip that I have for you is to let your hair air dry. And depending on how thick your hair is and the texture of your hair is how long you want to let it air dry. Basically, you're just letting it air dry so that you don't start blow drying your hair when it's soaking wet. So for me, for example, I like to let mine air dry 5 to 10 minutes while I'm putting lotion on, deodorant, that type of thing. If I let it air dry too long, it starts to curl up and then I can't get it straight. So you'll figure it out what works for you, but basically you don't want to start blow drying your hair when it's soaking wet. So tip number 2 is about products. And depending on your hair type and the look that you want to achieve, you need to use the correct products for your hair. So for example, if you have really thin hair that just lays flat, maybe you want to try a mousse or a volumizing mousse or a root booster. If you have dry hair, like I do, I like to use a leave-in conditioner. So I spray that in before I blow dry. If you want to get rid of some of the frizz in your hair, you can use, an argan oil. And I've got some samples of some of my favorite products on the blog. So basically, you want to make sure that you use the correct product. And that takes some testing different products out. And, when we look at YouTube, we get examples of what works for certain people. But you want to use product to help get the look that you are wanting. The next thing is tools. And I did a video on brushes, different types of brushes, and the effects that you can get, and I'll link that below. The other major tool is obviously your hair dryer. So, for example, if you've got a thick head of hair, you probably want at least 1875 watts on your hair dryer. If your hair is shorter and thinner, you can probably use one of those travel blow dryers that's maybe 1400, 1475, and that would work fine for you. So make sure that you select the tool that would work best for your hair. And the next one is to, depending on the thickness of your hair, is to section your hair off, especially if you're using a round brush to really get it straight. And you can either use these types of clips. These are just from Sally's, I think, or even Target. They're Conair. Sally's has them. Different people make the clips. I prefer a flatter clip versus these Jaws butterfly type clips because these leave like a crinkle in my hair. So I like the flatter ones. And just section your hair off. Maybe you want to start with the bottom layer and then bring some more pieces down, and depending on how thick your hair is how many sections that you'll have. But it really helps you dry the section that you're working on before you add more hair to it. The 5th tip is the nozzle. Now, most hair dryers come with a nozzle that you can put on your hair dryer. And for me, this really helps guide the air where I want it so that I'm concentrating the air on my round brush and bringing it down. So I prefer to use a nozzle. Otherwise, I feel like it's blowing all around on my hair and it's not aiming in the direction that I want. So with a nozzle, I feel like you really want to blow dry down on your hair, and if you have the nozzle, you can get it better going down. So, and the last one is, I love to use the cool shot on the blow dryer, and most of them are like right here. This one's blue on this one. This hair dryer, again, I've talked about it before, is the Velecta Paramount TGR 4000i. This is a great hair dryer for me. It's heavy. It's kind of expensive, but it's well worth it. My last one, I think, lasted me about 5 years. So most hair dryers have that cool shot, and it's usually located somewhere under here. But I find when I blow dry my hair and I get to the ends especially, I give it that shot of cool air to lock in the style, especially if I have the round brush, and then let it down. So I hope those tips help you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will try my best to help answer them. check below because I'll put links to my other videos. I'll put links to my new blog that you can check out. And I think that's about it. So I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you.